Yeah, internet's going a little slow today, so we'll see how fuzzy our picture looks when we're all done.
60.
I know.
Just went up. That's good.
What?
We don't look that fuzzy.
On our computer it looks perfect, but across the internet, somebody else's picture might look kind of fuzzy. So it's hard to know. You look really short down there. See, Perry's already here, and Biggie Shack's already here.
Hello.
And Fatima's here.
Bang.
And everybody's saying happy Saturday. Bang! Happy Saturday to you all. And Pop Pop's here. And Tom times 5 is here. And Hydra Collectibles, Luke is here.
I did that perfectly. I was like, dum 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 dum.
You did it. You did it very nice. Hope everybody's having a nice Saturday morning.
Jennifer's here.
Charlie was here, but I think she went down the hall to try to find her books, and then she went back.
KK.
KK is here. And we got Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart here. She's got a show coming up in a few hours on the Comic Chop News channel that I'm definitely going to be in the chat for.
Nerdy podcast.
Michael from the Downright Nerdy Podcast is here. Yes, indeed. Happy October. And to Ruben Guzman, I was chatting with him a little bit ago. He was leaving me messages on stuff.
10 viewers in less than 2 minutes.
Everybody's got that notification bell clicked. So when I go live, it makes a little note for them, and then they can jump over and not miss it. So I appreciate that.
Biggie likes you.
Non-stop Halloween recordings. There's some Biggie Shack bangers over there. I was really doing a lot of indies behind me, although I ran out of space, and I decided to put a sweet X-Men book back there as well.
Sentinels?
Yes, that's X-Men 98.
Enough said.
There is an alienated theme today. Pop-Pop is spotting there's 4 of them here. I got one on the wall, so I can't pull that one down, and I got the newest issue here in my stack. Hello, Sing J. Good to see you.
And one half of the kids, yep.
Yeah, the other half is bouncing around somewhere. She's collecting her books down the hall.
Do you want me to check on her?
Huh. We get what we get, and we don't throw a fit. That's a classic teacher saying. Hello, Kate Titus. Ohayou gozaimasu. So I got a little unboxing that I did off air the other day because my friend Dylan Comics heard that I was trying to find a book at my LCS that I couldn't find. And I was really bummed, and he said, I've got a copy. And he gets these Mad Cave he's hooked in with Mad Cave, and the book was called Stargazer, and he sent me an advanced copy to read. And he's like, I'm sorry you couldn't read it, you should definitely check it out. So he sent me this advanced copy, and a huge shout out to him for doing that. It's like an alien abduction kind of story. Yeah, Dylan Comics, really nice guy. So big shout out to him for hooking that up. Biggie says, if you missed it last night, Man Cave showed a Cap 1 on the Power Hour. Oh, dang. I'm going to have to go back and check that. I did miss that. I was doing family time last night.
That's right.
And hello to Los. Good to see you. He's out at the playground, but wanted to say hi. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. California Blend, hello.
What's the playground?
He's at a playground with his kids.
Literally at a playground.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't stand for anything. Hello, Ryan, the new guy. Good for coming by. Thank you. So besides that one, Dylan at Dylan's Comics also sent me like 6 other Mad Cave #1 issue books. So this is Dry Foot #1, which I've never read. And then Savage Bastards #1, looks like a Western of some kind. I'll have to check that out. I'll get to that. And Villainous #1. She looks like some kind of a
Gamora.
lizard woman. Yeah, very Gamora-esque. Then he also sent me, is it what? Terminal Punks #1 and Pantomime #1, and lastly Hollywood Trash #1. So he sent me a bunch of these preview editions of the #1s so that I could check them out. So I got a bunch of great Mad Cave reading ahead of me. I'm really kind of pumped to check them all out. If any of you have read any of these, you can definitely leave me a comment or say something in the chat. Let me know if any of those are really good. The one I was curious about because of White Whale Comics was Stargazer, and I did read this one, and it is cool. Stargazer is a really cool read, so I'm definitely going to try to make sure my LCS includes that on my pull list in the future. So yeah, if anybody is a Mad Cave fan, is reading anything, Jennifer says Stargazer was great, so she read that one. Hello, Just a Rican and his comics. I didn't say hello to you yet. And Captain Comics, howdy mates and mermaids. Thank you for coming by.
If I was him, I would just have that message on copy and paste at all times.
Yeah, howdy mates and
Howdy,
mermaids.
mates and mermaids.
Yeah, so they have this little banner that just says sneak preview, advanced reader copy, not the final product. So he must be getting some of that Mad Cave so he can do those reviews of their stuff right when their new things are dropping. But it was really nice of him to share that with me. So I will try to post some reviews for these so that people can know what I think and maybe add some of these to their own playlists.
Daddy.
Jennifer says she's read Dryfoot and Stargazer so far.
Well, I wanted to do this thing with the chat because I don't know what to do. And basically, anyone who's on a mobile device, it's like not
geez.
a computer.
This is going to get
Do
complicated,
your
isn't it?
3 most recent emojis that you've done that are like 1, 2, or 3, and then put them in the chat because I want to see like
What
It's cool.
emoji? It's funny because I was sending some to Bearded Comic Bro on my iPad, and I was like, it's funny that I haven't used this iPad in a long time, and what the most among my 20 most top popular emojis, there were some weird ones.
Yeah, like there was an interview
There's some
with
weird
like
ones.
Wired or something
Okay.
on YouTube, and this guy was like, he was like a teenager, and he was like, my 3 most recent emojis are the heart, the peach, and the hand. And he's like, well, I haven't really used the peach, so I don't know why that's there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Comics says
Of
it's just the
course,
skull
it's
and
the
crossbones.
skulls. Woo!
So yeah, let's see what we got. New guy says it's the hands, the drinks, and the fire. Ooh, look at Comics Will Break Your Heart. It's all the emotions. She's like the actors. Kate's now gonna be riveted by this.
I laughed sad the last year when I was sick.
There you go. KK's got her little emotional spectrum
I thought it was
as well.
I laughed so hard I started thinking like I was gonna get a sneeze, and I sneezed. Sorry, that was random.
So thank you, Dylan, for these Mad Cave books, and you all can expect some good Mad Cave reviews to be coming up. My LCS doesn't always get the new Mad Cave books, so it's good to be able to read the #1s because then I can ask, hey, would you add this to my pull list, and in the future I can try to get some of those. So that's my long-term goal with Mad Cave. How you doing, Caters?
Good.
Do you have a book you want to share? Anything you want to share? You're just waiting for more emojis. Maybe people are watching more on their TVs or on their laptops. Boop. Hello, Magic Lasso. Thank you for coming.
Instead of doing this one, can I do the new episode?
The new episode?
Yeah. Well, they haven't published it as a book yet, but it's so good.
And it's a longer one.
Uh-huh.
Can I do it?
You want to talk about the new episode of Miraculous that's only on YouTube?
And it's on Hulu, apparently. But I haven't seen that one.
Hey, it's your show, Kate.
Oh, thank you.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, the newest episode of Miraculous came out today. Sorry. It was really good, and I don't know if Rena has watched it, but it's really good.
Yeah, I know Rena's a big Rena of R.A. Random Wolf and the Life with Two YouTubers house is a big fan of Miraculous, the TV series. But you've been reading the comics and watching the show. You're all into it.
Yeah, so like
KK says, "Is there a new episode?"
yes, KK. It's hard to find it because there's a really lot of like bad copies of it. But if you go on YouTube and you look up Miraculous New York Special full episode,
You can.
and it's so much Adrian and Marinette.
Okay, so for those that have not seen enough of this Saturday morning comics show that I do, Miraculous is a TV series on Netflix, right? Is it still on Netflix or is it on Disney now?
It's still on Netflix, but
Okay.
they like put it on Hulu and they put it on like Disney Channel and stuff.
And see, look, you've already got Luke leaving. He's like, I have to go. Kids' dinner, time zones. I'll be sure to catch the rewind. They're out.
Sorry.
It's a TV series about two kids are they in high school, junior high?
They're in high school.
High school kids,
Francois Dupont High School.
and they live in Paris, and they are also superheroes that don't know that the other person is also a superhero. And they are fighting this villain known as Hawkmoth, who sends out these little butterflies he calls Akumas, and they turn normal citizens into villains, supervillains,
So
and they are
the citizens
akumatized.
have to be mad. Like they have to have
Sure,
a
they're
strong
feeling
emotion.
a negative emotion.
Yes.
And then they become a villain. Then the heroes arrive, running from high school, putting on their super suits and running in to fight. And they have to save the citizen and destroy the Akuma. And that's just kind of how every episode works. There's unrequited love between the two superheroes and between their alternate identities as normal
But
high
it's
school
switched.
kids.
So there's a boy and a girl, and Cat Noir is the
Yes.
superhero name, and Ladybug's the other superhero. So Cat Noir likes Ladybug, but Ladybug likes his secret identity. It's so complicated.
So just sort of, you can stew in all that, folks, and just kind of enjoy it. It's a little bit of my life.
It's kind of sad that you know that much about the show.
I've listened. I
Also,
listened to you.
I gave an.
I don't ignore.
I went on a road trip
It's-
with Pop Pop,
sorry.
and I gave him a whole rundown of the show because he was asking about it, and I'm pretty sure like he wished that he could just like fly out the window at that point.
He wants to take it all back, right? Chaos is here, and we can get started. Hello, Chaos and Comics.
It's an animated
I am going to
show.
talk about Ten of Swords, and I know he is my guy on Ten of Swords, so I'm happy to talk to him about it as well. And yeah, it's an animated show, Lasso, but there are graphic
made
novels.
by
Can I hold one?
Zag.
Can you hand me one? There are graphic novelizations of the episodes.
But they're really far behind.
So the show is way ahead of the comic. The comic is from Zag Heroes. So you can buy the graphic novels. I don't know if this is one of the ones. Yeah, I got this in Baltimore, so it got signed by the writer of the comic for the girls. It has lived a very hard life, but
That's Adrian
so yeah,
in the back.
that's the boy Adrian, who becomes a character called Cat Noir. And then the girl is named what?
Marinette.
Marinette, and she becomes Ladybug girl. No, Ladybug. Sorry,
Yeah, just
Ladybug.
You always call her that. I don't know.
Because yeah, whatever. So
The
anyways,
cartoon book. I know
you're-
what you're thinking.
your preteen kids might really enjoy it. I think younger kids, below 10 might not as love it as much, but who knows? It's
Yeah,
it's
Charlie
right there in the
doesn't
middle.
like it as much as me, but I really like it. Because, like, I was watching it on YouTube, and I was, like, I had to pause it and just,
Don't
like,
make me spill.
sorry, I had to pause it and just, like, freak out, and it was a lot of fun. It was an hour long, so it was so much longer.
And it looks like Charlie's found her books, and she's coming in. Hi, Char. Couldn't find any? You have an unveiling of what? Because KK is watching.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. So we braided our hair last night, and so after my friends in my class did it.
I didn't braid
When
mine.
you, no, of
Oh,
course.
can I do
When
it?
you take it out, your hair gets really wavy. And
So
I
you're
kept
gonna
it in,
you're
and
gonna
I did it.
unveil your hair this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it looks like braided. You want to get a little closer? Oh, Jesus.
It's Pippi Longstockings.
There you go. Got the lovely braids going.
Yeah, I did that. I'm
Kate
a
braided it?
hairstylist
Kate
now.
styled that. There you go.
I styled Kate's, but she took
And
them
Kate's
out.
got the two little
Space
buns, space buns.
It took me so long. I tried to do it yesterday and it wasn't working, and then I finally did it at night, and then I had to
Wonderful.
take them
So this
out.
is all kids animated shows and hairstylings.
I know, right, Kennedy? Like, there's some versions that are an hour. I think it's a 2-part episode, but it's combined.
Gotcha.
They're usually
They're
like
talking about the
22
new.
minutes.
She's right there at the bottom. Noelle with
We're
two
talking
E's.
about the New York special of Cat Noir and Ladybug.
No, I was 2 E's.
See, she says hi, Charlie. All right, so is it my turn to go then? Since you guys are both done, I got to do the one for the thumbnail. Why don't you go take it out and then come back, and then it could be a reveal. All right, so Chaos is here. This was the read of the week. This book is amazing, and I'm sorry for everybody who feels like this is too many issues in a story arc. But that's the whole point of having a connected universe. Hey, see, now my daughters are like, he's talking about X-Men. We're gone. But the truth is, everybody I heard complaining about Ten of Swords isn't reading it. They're just upset that it's expensive, and I get it. But because I cut my pull list way back in advance, I was ready for this, and I am all in on Ten of Swords. I'm really looking forward to reading it. The second issue was just a gangbusters. Characters dying, being reborn, huge stakes, the reveal of what's coming up. I have a feeling this is going to be a major event series, just like House and Powers from last summer. I'm big into this. All right, here's the reveal of Charlie's hair. You gotta get closer.
Oh, really?
Gotta get closer.
It's really wavy.
Yeah, got all the little curlies in there.
I've never been this wavy. I have to go see the mirror because I can't see them.
So this is a huge X-Men series. It's going to be 22 issues long. There's 3 issues dropping this coming Wednesday. I highlighted which ones they were in my pull list video I dropped last night. And there's 3 more the week after. So if you want to know which ones are coming and what titles and what numbers, I'm going to be dropping a pull list video hopefully every week. Just a quick little 4 or 5 minute video highlighting what I'm picking up. I'm only getting 3 to 6 books a weekend these days. I've cut way down. So it's possible most weeks it'll be a big X-Men info dump and then the rest of it. So it's been really great. 2 issues in, both were the read of the week. So that's a great sign. I'm excited to see what's up next. It is the convoluted wackiness of Hickman, but I think it all makes sense. The more of the universe you understand, the more it works for me. Ryan says, I read the X-Men Free Comic Book Day issue to my kid last night. Pretty good, but the second half of the book was unexpected and concerning. Why haven't I heard anything about this event? I'm assuming you mean the Ten of Swords event. And I think they've been trying to market it, but I don't know if they've done a great job. I feel like I've seen it coming up in a lot, especially in the X-Men books that are on the shelves. They all say prelude to Ten of Swords and all that kind of stuff. So I felt like it was all kind of set up, and I was looking forward to it. Knowing that it was coming, though, I was making sure I was reading certain books to get ready, like X-Men and Excalibur, things that I knew were setting up this. And it made a big difference. Plus, I wrote a whole blog on what you need to know before you read Ten of Swords. And if anybody needs the link, just let me know on Instagram. I can drop you the link to the blog article. So that was like all prep. And then I was ready to dive in. He says, no, I knew about the Ten of Swords. He's talking about the Iron Man part. I don't know the Iron Man part. I don't remember Iron Man in there, but
I thought you guys were saying the tennis swords, but it's Ten of Swords.
It looks like X of Swords, but the X is the Roman numeral, so it's Ten of Swords. Right? It's actually a card in tarot cards, like the predicting your future, like
Tarot.
Yeah, and so the Ten of Swords is a tarot card.
Okay.
In a normal deck of tarot cards. So it's connected to that as well. Jennifer says, if I pick up less than 10 issues each week, it's a light week. Adding 3 a week is still a lot. Yeah, I totally agree. But I had culled my list so far down. I mean, I had 3 books this week, just 3. And I enjoyed all of them. But Ten of Swords, X Factor was the best one for sure. Hello, Lost in Comics. I'm not sure if it's Chris or Oscar, but we're hoping to see. I think it's Chris is joining. Chris is joining us tonight, I believe. On now I've totally forgotten. On the show tonight, we're talking time travel movies one last time, and we got DS Comics joining us. Of course, Bearded Comic Bro is hanging with me. And we got Lost in Comics joining us.
Daddy?
Hmm.
Which one's Snow White on the cover of Fable?
I don't know if she's on the cover of any of these. That might be her. I can't tell. I don't think she's on the cover of any of those. Biggie says, I only got 2, Nailbiter and Spawn. There you go. Collect your way. Yeah, there you go, Biggie. Totally agree with that.
I fell over.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad that people are enjoying the blog of X. I'm trying to build a little community of friends that want more info on these things. Like I did a Sentinels one, Biggie Shack. I dropped a Sentinels blog the other day. I didn't realize that they battled the Avengers in their like 3rd time in comics. They battled the Avengers. So a Sentinels versus Avengers, like that. How is that not a cool book to check out? So I got to go read that. It's Chris. There he is. So I was right. Chris is joining us tonight to talk about time travel movies. There's Bearded Comic Bro.
Hot tub time machine.
I can't remember the last time he had a single-digit comic haul. There you go.
I'm so squirmy today. I'm sorry.
You are very squirmy today. It's all right, Biggie. It's still up there. I can send you the link on Instagram if you want. I think I actually put the link in my video from yesterday. You can go down and click it. It takes you to comictom101.com, and my blogs are all there. Thank you, Just Rican. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I just
Two Bros Comics. Good morning. People saying X. No, it's wrong. It was just hard to do that. Yeah. Some people say X or some people say 10, and it's hard to know when it's which one it is. But hey, it's no big deal. Awesome. Okay, so that was my read of the week. I'm probably gonna have an 10 of Swords book every week. That's one of my favorites, just because it seems like it's gonna be a consistent read. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those, but we'll see. How you doing? Why do you think you're so squirmy today?
I know why. I just don't want to say it.
You're excited maybe hanging out with a friend later?
Oh, she's not coming over. I know that.
Maybe.
No. They're going to be extra careful because it's her grandpa.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing they're not going to come over. Mom's probably still going to ask her. But I'm squirming because we had donuts, probably.
Oh,
That's what I thought you wanted me to say.
Oh. I don't know.
You're a demon.
I'm a demon?
Mm-hmm.
Simba? Now I'm Simba? Right.
I saw this thing where it was like, my dad's on a Zoom call, so she put her hand in like this ranch. She went over to him. She was like, Simba, in the middle of his class, and his classmates, or his class was just like burst out.
His little sister did it?
No, so it was her dad.
Her dad
on
was
a Zoom call, and so she walked in and she was like, Simba.
And then just walked away?
She was playing it on her phone like.
Oh, okay. All right, interesting.
But then she's like,
okay, you've done it to me like 10 times now. Feel wet, slimy fingers on my forehead.
I don't have slimy fingers. You have slimy fingers.
Lost in Comics, yeah. If, I'm going to try to do a Ten of Swords recap like every other week when I've got like 3 or 4 issues I can talk about as a clump. So next week is a Ten of Swords recap. And then the week after, I was thinking of doing something on Magneto. That was just my thought. I want to do something on Magneto. Love that character. Crossed Swords. Ooh, interesting way to say it. Yeah, it has more to do with the tarot cards and like trying to, prophecies about the future and stuff like that. All right. Do you have a book you want to share, Kate? Something? Am I carrying the weight here?
That was beautiful. Anyways,
What's this one? I can't.
called Ugly.
Ugly.
Don't say it like that. It's weird. You're like, ugly.
Ugly.
It's so weird. But, so this...
The writer's name is
Robert Hodge.
Robert Hoge. Hodge? Hodge?
Hodgie.
I don't know. Hoge.
Well, it's kind of like Wonder,
Okay.
but it's like a true story. And so when she... Well, basically, he like, didn't have one of his legs. Like, he was missing some of his leg. And so he had to wear, like, a fake leg.
It's the story of his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had a lot of operations, and he looks, like, pretty good now. He looks normal, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know what normal is, so...
But he's gone through a lot of challenges because he looks different and he's had a lot of surgeries, you're saying?
Yeah. So there's, like, a bunch of little photos with him and his prosthetic leg.
And he wrote this book about what he went through in his life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and he was in the Olympic torch race.
Oh, he carried the Olympics torch in 2000 and for the Sydney Olympics. That's cool.
Yeah. And so he had a bunch of siblings, and, like, they would play lawn bowls.
Lawn bowling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. And, like, he had a pretty, like, different childhood, but he also had, like, a similar one. Well, it was hard for him.
He had some unusual parts about his childhood, but
Yeah.
mostly it was a normal childhood.
It was hard for him to do a lot of things, and so they had to make him a new nose, basically. So they took cartilage out of his leg, just a little gross, not gonna lie. And then made him a new nose.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just stopped caring about what other people, like, said about him. And now he has a kid, and he's married.
Nice.
It's a really happy story. And so he has, like, nicknames.
People have called him different nicknames in his life.
Yeah, can I read some of them?
I guess.
Well, he didn't really care. Like, these are his top 10, like, worst ones.
Oh,
So it was,
jeez.
like, toothpick, legs, flat nose, that's mean. And then, like, people called him retard, even though he's not. Like, he said it was a hurt factor was medium. He got over it because this one held a lot of power over me for quite a while. Yes, I had an ugly face and no legs, but my brain worked quite well, thank you very much. I just had to disconnect the dots for the people who thought that being physically disabled automatically meant you were intellectually disabled too.
You're talking kind of quiet. It's hard to see, but I get what you're saying.
Like, he
That's
was
a
like,
very harsh name, yeah.
Yeah, it's not nice.
To call somebody that is pretty... Wow. That's pretty harsh. But it sounds like he had a lot of challenges like that.
Yeah, and he pushed himself past it,
Mm-hmm.
and he did very well in school, and he's incredibly smart, and I think the main chapter that what I remember, there was two. There's one where one of his sisters stole a cookie. Like, they took some cookies and cupcakes from, like, the top of the fridge where their parents kept them.
Okay.
And so no one admitted to it, and everyone thought Robert did it, but he didn't. And no one ever owned up to it. So he got in trouble, and he got, like, smacked on the butt.
Punished for whatever.
Something he didn't do. And then the other one was he had, like, splints in his nose,
Okay.
and they had embedded themselves into the tissue. So they had to take them out of the tissue.
Sounds like you're really just
Really gross,
zeroing in
but
on all the
still.
negative stuff pretty intensely. Like the gross stuff and the name calling and
Because there's a lot of that in there.
Okay.
It's a big part of the story.
All right. So the book is called Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think about the book?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought that it's powerful, and it was kind of showed you, like, how people are treated in this world,
Okay.
and how it's not fair, and how we don't have to stare at people just because they look different. Everyone
Move the
looks
microphone
different from
closer
each
to you, I
other.
feel like.
Everyone looks different from each other.
Right.
No one looks the same, so why are we so mean to people who look different than us? Everyone's different. We don't look the same. Like, we might look similar, but we don't look the same.
Certainly when we make certain faces.
Do one. Please. You look like frogs. Okay.
When you grow your beard out, you look more similar to me.
Thank you.
That's true.
I shaved it this morning.
Oh, good for you. Hello to Mr. Gretzky9966, and Tacoma Comics says that he's his boys are watching Minecraft and he's watching the Chelsea game. Yeah, and Biggie Shack is reminding me that, yeah, congrats to you, Tacoma, on that birthday book, X-Men 94. Great book. And hello, Sleepy Reader 666.
Oh, I want to play Minecraft right now. My friend has Minecraft and it's so fun. And I build so much.
And new guy is right. Shout out to Chaos for his. He's doing a podcast covering the Ten of Swords, and he did one on all the tarot card information. So that was really awesome. Big shout out there too. So, do you feel like this book is better than Wonder? Not as good as Wonder? Equally good as Wonder? What do you think?
It's hard to beat Wonder because Wonder's like a really, really powerful story.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds similar to Wonder, but one is a fictional and one is a non-fiction.
And I think that one's more intense in a lot of ways, but this one's also more intense in a lot of ways. I feel like August wasn't really called by names. He just wasn't talked to. Which is worse, but it's also not good to be called names. So there's like a little bit of both.
Right.
And I think that it's hard to beat Wonder. And Wonder is a really good book, but this one's very good too. So I think that they're about the same.
Okay.
Wonder's
Do you
a
think
little
it's
higher,
Do you
though.
think it's easier to write a non-fiction book or a fiction book and make it interesting? Which one do you think?
Harder to write a nonfiction one.
Right.
I don't like
I mean,
as
it's
many
easier to make the
nonfiction ones.
fiction book dramatic. You can add
you can
drama,
change
right?
things 'cause
but
it's
you
not
can't add
real.
drama to your own life without changing things, right?
Yeah.
Unless there was a significant amount of drama, I suppose.
Yeah. But I don't usually, whenever we would go to the library and our teacher was like, okay, pick out some books, guys. Like, everyone would go to the nonfiction section. I was like, I don't want nonfiction.
New guy is with you. Sounds like a great read. History shows that racism was invented. All those folks turn their back on time can start there. Yeah, hating on somebody's physical appearance, right? Hello, Gore Vidal, and Two Boys and Their Pops had a live stream last night. I jumped in there and hung out with them for a little bit last night. Good to see you here. You good? You feel good on that one? Or at least...
Saturated. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what it means either.
Congratulations. You're the teacher, though.
I have a ton of Alienated behind me because that storyline finished this week. This is the final issue of Alienated. And I've been talking with a couple of people in the chat on Instagram about it. Specifically, New Guy and I are big fans of Alienated. And it's just a great run. Issues 3 and 4 are my favorite. So they're here and right there. But the run is really, really great. The ending of Alienated was a little bit neat. They tied the bow a little bit too neat for me. So that's probably why it wasn't my favorite issue. But it's super powerful and raises a ton of great, thought-provoking ideas and discussions that are supremely meaningful. It's only 6 issues, so I'm assuming there's a trade coming soon. If you haven't read Alienated from Boom Studios by Simon Spurrier, definitely worth reading. Teenagers, it's kind of, I always say it's kind of like if teenagers found E.T. in the modern era instead of a nice little boy in the 80s in elementary school. So I think definitely has more of a look at teen angst and anger and social media and all those other things. Really, really powerful. Yes, I agree, Ryan. Those were the issues that were hardest to read, but for the best reasons, absolutely. And I saw Carlito Classico came in. Good morning to you, man. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, the pendulum on that story moved. Yeah, the emotional swing was pretty dramatic, and the characters went through huge changes. I thought that was beautifully done. Really, really great stuff. Biggie Shack says, "Do I have an Avengers 57? I do not. That is probably one of my all-time favorite covers. It's just always been such an expensive book that I've never been able to even think about it. I've always had so many other books ahead of that one. I love the Vision. He's a great character. But that cover where he's like holding his hand out is just beautiful, iconic. So I don't have that issue. I have the all new, all different Avengers cover when the Vision is in the same pose doing it again with Alex Ross's art. That's a beautiful one. And then there's the white Vision cover that's also an homage to it. But I do not have a 57 yet. Good comparison. New guy. It's 13 Reasons Why meets Chronicle. That's a really good combo. Waiting on a copy I bought. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, my Avengers run is primarily 25 to 2 through 25 is where my focus is on my Avengers run. And in that run, I'm only missing about eight books. Obviously, I'm missing issue 4, which is the banger. But I got a lot of the other ones. Yeah, the homage. I mean, it's such an iconic cover that whenever anybody can do a spin on it, I think it comes out really cool. And I personally, I love that Alex Ross all new, all different Avengers cover. And you got, Falcon as Captain America and Jane Foster as Thor, and Miles Man as Spider-Man as Miles Morales, all on the cover with the Vision. I think it's really cool. All right. You have another book you want to share? So yeah, Alienated is great. I highly recommend the trade. I've been reading a ton of Boom Studios, and it's right up there with the best stuff they're making. Really, really good.
I kind of want to just read.
You kind of want to just read? Can we share this one at least?
I'll share it with you.
And then you can go and read it.
This is like Little Women but modernized.
Yeah, so a modern update of Little Women called Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy. And it's by, let me see the cover, by Ray Terciero and Brie Indigo.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, it's about how, like, the March Sisters.
The March
That's their
Sisters,
last name. The March Sisters in the modern world. Like, they have neighbors, they have people they like, they have all kinds of stuff. I like it a lot. My least favorite part in the book was always when Beth got sick.
Okay.
And she passed away.
Right. Spoiler.
It
For a
wasn't
book that's like ancient.
my
right?
least favorite, but it was like pretty good. That's a powerful moment.
Yeah,
I
oh, yeah.
like that they took that out in this one.
So they
So
changed
they did
that part of the ending.
change it. They made Joe like lesbian, which is like good. That's cool. And they like shaved all their heads for that
Because it's about
she had
cancer. Sure.
And it's a really sad but also like really happy book.
Yeah.
When Beth, I'm not saying I want her to die, but
But-
it does move the
But it's
story.
an important part of that story. Yeah.
And when they don't, it's like they have a moment when they think she's dead, but her mom had taken her on a walk in a
Gotcha.
wheelchair. And so it's a really great story. And it's kind of sad, but it's also really happy. And I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. So Beth really likes to sing. And their dad is fighting in the war, and he loses his leg. So he comes back finally, which is good. And so they're a very happy family now, and they're all back together.
Is it just a little too happy?
Yeah, I think so. But there's also really sad parts.
Well, it sounds like it. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the March Sisters if there wasn't a sort of roller coaster of emotion going on, right?
And at the beginning, they're talking about what they want to do when they grow up. And Beth says she wants a guitar and she wants to listen to a lady named Nina Simone.
Okay.
And Amy says I need some art supplies. I'm gonna draw when I'm older. And Joe loves reading, so she's like, I'm gonna be a librarian. I'm gonna write books. I'm gonna be an author. I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff with books. And then Meg is like, I want a new dress. I want to work for Vogue. But at the end of the book, they all learn something, and they all change. And Beth now wants to, because she was bullied in school, she wants to be a teacher so she can teach kids to be nicer.
Okay.
And Beth, since she went through cancer, she wants to be a pediatrician now.
Okay.
And Joe wants to speak out about the LGBTQ community.
So they've all found things that their passions have kind of evolved.
And it's so much better. And at the end, they go for like a women's march and stuff, and it's like really cool.
So
and,
some of the like cultural historical significance of things.
yeah.
Okay.
And I like a lot of the posters on this one. Like there's one that's like The Fempire Strikes Back.
The Fempire Strikes Back, haha.
And there's like, let's make her story.
Herstory, yep.
That's a good one. That's
Yep.
my favorite, I think.
It's a classic.
It's really good.
So some people are talking about X-Force runs. I've only really ever read the original run and the current run. So everything in between I've missed. I heard that Remender's Uncanny X-Force was really great. I want to check that out at some point. Looks like others. Gore's talking about Craig Kyle and Chris Yost's X-Force run from 2009. I don't know that one. But I think Remender's was called Uncanny X-Force, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't read that one, but I've seen it with all the gray and black and white kind of costumes, with a little bit of red, I think.
Oh, there's
Okay,
also a lot
so
of funny stuff.
So I have not read any of those yet. There's lots of
Fun stuff.
comedy, or at least funny jokes.
It's good. I like this book a lot.
All right. Well, there you go.
4 out of 5.
So there's 14 of you in here. I thought it might be a fun time to mention that it has been almost exactly 2 years that we've been doing this show.
Really?
Today is October 3rd, and our first show was on October 6th of 2018. So this is basically our 2-year anniversary of doing this show. I mean, we're not going to do a show on the 6th because it's a Wednesday, a Tuesday or something.
Well, I was looking at our first Saturday morning comics, and it was us. Like, we weren't in pajamas and stuff.
But we were right here on this couch 2 years ago for our first one. Hey, Comic Heads here, thank you.
My spot. Always my spot, little couch.
Yeah. My wife and I bought this couch for our first apartment back in
Wow.
99? Might have been 1999 or 2000. So this couch has lived a life. At some point it will be replaced if we get around to remodeling like we're planning. So yeah, today
But we've been planning for almost 3 years.
today is the unofficial as close as you can get to 2-year anniversary of this show.
We can post something. You can post something on your Instagram on the 6th. Like, oh, today's
Yeah.
the Saturday morning comics.
Well, in October of 2018, we started 2 shows on this channel. This one and Book Club on Wednesdays with White Whale Comics also started in October of 2018. So that's going to be a 2-year anniversary coming up here as well.
That's crazy.
Kavi recently had his 2 years of doing YouTube anniversary, which is so awesome. He did a great live stream on that. And it made me want to go and double check because I know I have a ton of anniversaries in October already. I got married in October. I started dating my wife in October.
Wow. A lot of stuff in October.
Yeah, October has always been kind of a big month. So thank you for all the congratulations. Already wants a new one, says Chris. 3 years. So we got our money out of this one. Now it starts to give me back pain, this couch. I need something new for sure. Hello, Flashpoint. So it's been 2 years of doing this, and I had Bueller.
So long.
Yeah, Bueller said something to me the other day about how it's going to be, ultimately, it's going to be this cool little time capsule where we can go back and click on and see what was Kate like in.
Oh my god, I was watching it. I look so cringy.
What does Charlie look like when she was this age or that age? It's going to be a fun little time capsule for our family, at least.
Was I 10? when we started?
Well, 2 years
Almost
ago,
11.
you were almost 11,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Tiny.
Right. So Charlie would have been 8.
So I'd have just started,
Yeah, she would have
Fourth
just turned
grade.
8. Yeah.
and she would have just started.
So-
second,
so-
something like that.
For those of you that were, however much of that run you've been here with us, we appreciate it. Hello, Caroline. I've got a playlist of I think I've been pretty good about making sure every episode of this show is in this epic playlist, and you can sort them based on when they first appeared, and you can find those early episodes just to kind of go and check it out if you really want. I'm a big fan of playlists. So my channel has a ton of playlists, organized. You can see all the original book clubs and things. So I'm sure in the coming weeks for book club, because I know we're off this week. There is no book club on Wednesday because there's another. Alec also has anniversaries in October. There's no book club this week, but I'm sure the week after, somewhere we will have a book club anniversary as well. This is technically the anniversary for our morning show. Charlie was out here earlier. She didn't have any books she wanted to share, but she wanted to share her sister's braiding job of her pigtails. And then she undid them and shared her hair and then ran off to go read, I guess.
Keep me in check. What?
Who's going to keep Kate in check? Yeah, right? I try, but I usually fail. But I just wanted to thank you all for kind of, joining us on this silly journey. And there's a ton of people who happily don't watch any of my content except for this show on Saturday, and I love them for it, for taking the time and hanging out with us. Because it's a little bit of chemistry where you don't know quite what you're gonna get, and the girls I don't prep them. They come with whatever books they've been reading or what they want to share. So it's been kind of fun. I think it's been a fun ride.
I don't understand this one thing.
Yeah.
Do men have to go fight in the war?
Which war are you talking about? Vietnam?
I don't know.
More than likely, they're probably talking about the war in Iraq. In which case, no, we didn't
This
have a
was
draft.
February 2019.
Then no, they did not have to. But soldiers can enlist and volunteer.
I know, but
We have a
like,
volunteer army currently.
They have 5 kids at home, 4 kids at home.
So,
Why would they sacrifice that?
because a lot of people feel like their nation deserves a sacrifice of time and effort. I know that we've got a ton of men and women in service, or who have been in service, who are in this comic community, and they would say that they felt honor bound to offer their service to their nation. Like Edwin, right? But we, in the Vietnam era, when Pop was a young man, they had the draft. That meant they put
like
that
the
they
NBA.
well, no, not like the NBA draft. They would throw all of these numbers into a machine, and if your social security number got pulled and you were a man of a certain age, you'd go and fight. Kind of like in Mulan, I guess, when they come around and the army conscripts people.
What is Lady Fantastic saying about hair? What?
She wants to see Charlie's hair. You can share yours though.
Kind of cool.
Kate's got her buns going.
I
Back in
like
the revolutionary
spice
times,
buns. I don't know.
when we had airports. Once my household overcomes dyslexia, I need to rip your show off. Hey, go for it, Ryan. Go for it. Hey, you know what? And honestly, I have students every year with different reading disabilities, and dyslexia has definitely come up.
I have ADHD.
And reading,
That's different.
is just another skill that needs to be grown, and it can be a great way to show, look how much you've done, look how your progress is going. A way to celebrate that stuff. If you have enough money, you don't have to join the draft. You get a doctor's note for Lady Fantastic's amazing. Oh, I love Lady Fantastic. Caroline, you're the best. Apex Comics, hello to you. So yeah, I say celebrate the challenge, because reading doesn't come easy for everybody, and I know plenty of kids and adults who struggle with reading, and celebrate the steps that you take as a team, because that's the fun of it. And comic books are the perfect medium for that. My best friend growing up had dyslexia, and he and I could share love for comic books. He was probably my only friend of that age group that read comics, and it was because I think it was easier for him to follow the story with pictures, right? The pictures made all the difference for him. All right, I think we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna bail out of here. Just admiring Kate's focus on her reading. She is laser focused. Reading completely absorbs Kate. Can I tell the music story?
And you can tell the one in the morning room where I would always like sit.
Yeah, so like as Kate mentioned, she has some focus challenges sometimes, but reading has never been the big issue. So like in the morning room at our school, when all this chaos and creativity is happening before kids go sorting into their classrooms, it could be just massive noise, and Kate would be in a corner just reading and just zeroing out everybody. At the same time, later in the day when they had music, Kate would, the first day she had an official music lesson, and the teacher's talking about music and all of these things. Kate was the student who listened for a few minutes and then said, nah, no thanks. Reached over and grabbed a book off of the shelf and just started reading right in front of the music teacher.
Yep. And then he yanked it out of my hands and was like, no. Pay attention.
So, it takes different sorts.
Well, I don't like music. I liked it more when I got older, I think, because like Miss Callie was really awesome. Like she was really cool. And clarinet was so much more fun than ukulele.
So, Justice Sotomayor talked about loving comics as a kid, and it gave her the confidence to be whatever she wanted. That's cool, Lady Fantastic. That's awesome to hear. Really cool. So anyways, I hope that inspires to share how people are doing with things. I'm excited for you, new guy. And yeah, dyslexia is a huge challenge, and all the power to you. It's made a huge difference in my friend's life. He's become a graphic designer, and he's a very visual, spatial kind of guy. And I think comics helped him in a big, big way, for sure. He still reads comics. I still recommend him things. I give him trades to stuff, and he takes them. So awesome. He's an awesome guy. I think it made a huge difference for him. Hello, Comics on the Mind. I'm sorry that I was not able to stay up late and do the teacher's lounge. One of these days I got to join you guys. I would love to hang out with you and Gorilla Todd. Hello, Fuchsia. We're just wrapping up here because we were talking a little bit about our 2-year anniversary and kind of what it's meant doing this for, because it's almost exactly 2 years to the day. It'll be I think technically Tuesday Tuesday is our official 2-year anniversary. But we just wanted to say a little something to thank all of you for hanging out with us in the chat, because that makes this a whole lot of fun, I think. Sharing books with all of you. So thank you all for coming by. We're going to...
Can we do 54? Because that really satisfied me. Okay.
When it's exactly on the minute.
Yeah,
okay.
So get ready, please.
I'm going to get ready.
Thank you all for coming. Hope you all have a great day.
Yes. We appreciate you all hanging out. Mm-hmm. And I'll be on tonight, so catch you on later tonight for Drinks and Movies with Bearded Comic Bro, Lost in Comics.
Bye.